Cao Dai Center is to realize the goal of Cao Dai, bringing peace to human beings both inside and outside, and realizing the oneness between humans and the Supreme Being. Human beings have a tendency toward materialism. They discriminate against each other because of physical differences between cultures and religions. They fight and kill each other under the form of religious wars. In order to relieve humankind's religious crisis, in 1926, via Spiritism, the Supreme Being founded an innovative faith called Cao Dai in Vietnam, with the principle that all religions are one, have the same origin and principle, and all are just different manifestations of the same truth. So, Dr. Bui, in reality, what is the meaning of Cao Dai?
Thank you, David, for the question. Cao Dai is a Vietnamese term that literally means high palace, or abode on high where God reigns. Figuratively, the phrase Cao Dai is used as God's symbolic name. The principle of Cao Dai is the oneness between the Supreme Being and the universe, the oneness of humanity and religions. The Supreme Being, via Spiritism, came in Vietnam under the name of Cao Dai in 1926 to guide the humanity to peace in the world and to peace inside in the heart, with the ultimate goal of realizing the oneness between humans and the Supreme Being.
As you may have noticed, there are many religions in the world, so that they are fighting against each other for supremacy. So, Dr. Wei, how would Cao Dai bring out the reconciliation?
Again, thank you for the question. The answer will come about as we progress in the session. People are fighting each other because of the name of God. In founding Cao Dai, the Supreme Being has given the following holy message. Formerly, people lacked transportation and therefore did not know each other. Thus, in different epochs and in different areas, 5 branches of the Great Way were founded: the way of humanism, the way of genie, the way of saints, the way of immortals, and the way of Buddhas. Each of these ways based on the custom of the race. Today, transportation has been improved and people have come to know each other better. But unfortunately, they do not always live in harmony because of the very multiplicity of the religions. This is why I have decided to unite all these religions into one to bring them to the primordial unity. Moreover, the holy doctrine has been, through centuries, more and more denatured by the people responsible for spreading it. I'm so broken-hearted to see that human beings, for the last 10,000 years, have sinned and subsequently suffered. I have now firmly resolved to come myself to save you and not to leave anymore the holy doctrine in human hands. You have to be well organized to guide and support each other on your way to Nirvana.
What is the relationship between Cao Dai and current religions, such as Confucianism, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Taoism?
Cao Dai is also called Đại Đạo Tam Kỳ Phổ Độ, and Đại Đạo is the great way that embraces all religions, which are the way of humanity, essentially Confucianism, the way of worshipping ancestors, the way of saints, represented by Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and the way of immortals, represented by Taoism, and the way of Buddhas. So said, Cao Dai wants to mean that all religions are one, of one origin, which is the Supreme Being, of one same ethic based on love and justice, and are just different manifestations of one same truth.
So the religions are so diversely different, how can they be one?
The different religions actually fitted into the 5 branches of the Great Way, which represent the diverse aspect of spiritual activity of people. The first one is the way of humanity that guide the people to live as a good person, fulfilling duties of a person toward oneself, the family, the community, the country, and all humanity. The second way guides people to perform heroic achievement for the community, the country, and all humanity. The third one is the way of saints, where people put interest of humanity above their own personal interest. This way is represented by Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. And the best model of this way is Mother Teresa, who dedicated her life to serve humanity. You can see Mother Teresa surrounded by all the young children needing love and help from her. The fourth one is the way of immortals, that guide the people to cultivate self to become immortal. This way is represented by Lao Tse, and you can see Lao Tse on the buffalo. The fifth way is the way of Buddha, where people try to detach from secular attachment, from secular desire, cultivating self by meditation, and ultimately become enlightened. This way is represented by the Buddha. All the 5 ways have common principles based on love and justice. Love is the true love to all living beings without personal interest. Justice is do not do to others what you don't want others to do to you, or do to others what you want done to you. Embracing all the 5 ways would suit perfectly to various spiritual interests of people. One may simply choose to practice any way that fits her or him. One may choose to simply fulfill human duties of a person, or may choose the way of saints, dedicating her or his life to serve humanity like Mother Teresa and multiple other missionaries in the Third World. Or, when one has tried to detach from secular desire, one may choose to practice the way of immortals or the way of Buddhas. Of course, one may practice many ways at the same time. For example, while fulfilling human duties, you may cultivate self by meditation to find peace inside in the heart.
We call God differently from one religion to another.
Yeah.
So how can religion be one?
Well, the Supreme Being created various religions at different times, under different form, and was manifested and called by different names. And that's understandable because people come from different areas in the world and they have different languages. However, if you go into the scriptures, you will find in the Holy Message the Supreme Being said, Dipankara Buddha, Nhiên Đăng Cổ Phật is me. Sakyamuni is me. Thái thượng Nguồn Thị, or the previous life of Lao Tzu, is me, who is Cao Dai, the Supreme Being. And at the same time taught that all religions belong to one same family. Buddha, God, God, Buddha were me. Although under three different branches, all religions belong to one same family. Buddhism, Taoism, Christianity are under my orders. In other words, in my hands. Because of love, I come to save humanity for the third time.
Please, Dr. Wood, elaborate more about different names of God for us.
Because religion were founded at different time and in different area, God has been called by many names in different languages. In Hinduism, God, the creator, is Brahma. In Buddhism, it is the nothingness. Taoism called the creator the Tao. Judaism called the creator Yahweh. Christianity called the creator God, whose only son is Christ. Muslim called the creator Allah, and Cao Dai calls the creator Cao Dai, or the Supreme Being.
So do all these different names have the same meaning?
Although being called differently, it is interesting to see how God has been perceived so similarly by religions. Indeed, God was understood as the great sacred light in Hinduism, the nothingness in Buddhism, the Tao Tai Chi or nothingness in Taoism, and against the world's nothingness come under Belima in Judaism, and the world of the light by Christianity, or also the light by Islam. And Cao Dai believed that God is the great sacred light coming from the nothingness.
As the philosophy of Cao Dai is the oneness between the Supreme Being and the universe, including humanity and religions, what is the Cao Dai perception on human beings?
As we have said before, God is the great sacred light, and humans are perceived as the little sacred light, receiving one part of God. The oneness between God and human being is supported by the teaching of Cao Dai. I, your master, and you, my children, and you are me. That means we all have God's Spirit inside and may be reunited with God or become one with God, as stated in the following poem given by the Supreme Being. On earth, you are a sacred light and are a part of my sacred light. You already have the key to go anywhere on earth or in heaven. Christianity has also the same perception. My Father and I are one. So does Buddhism. You all have heard Buddha saying, I am the Buddha already enlightened, and you are the Buddha to be enlightened.
Dr. Bowie, you have mentioned before about human being becoming united with God. Would you tell us more, a little bit more about this issue?
I'd be happy to. Cao Dai, the Supreme Being, taught, after creating the universe, I divided my spirit and with it made all creatures, plants, and materials. Everything in the universe comes from my spirit and therefore has a life. Where there is life, myself is present, even in materials and plants. I am each of you, and you are me. Spiritually, everything in the universe shares a part of God's Spirit, which is also called conscience or soul by the common person. Physically, everything has a visible body consisting of a mixture of yin and yang, energies corresponding to what science calls electrons and protons in the atoms. Cao Dai believed yin and yang energy are also from the Supreme Being. In brief, one may say that human being is God in miniature, or in other words, human being and God are one. Following is the holy teaching about this oneness. It's miraculous. God and man are one. Thật là diệu diệu huyền huyền. Trời người có một chẳng riêng khác gì.
If human beings are really one with God, or we are God in miniature, then why are human beings suffering so much in this world?
Good question. Well, the Supreme Being Spirit is absolutely pure, absolutely good. On the other hand, human being has a visible physical body beside the invisible God Spirit. God's Spirit is our conscience and is also absolutely pure and good. However, the physical body have 6 senses under the organs like eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and mind. And these organ senses need constantly satisfaction that generated 6 kinds of desire. And whether or not the secular desire are satisfied, human will develop all kinds of emotions, which may be good or bad. And this leads to either happiness or sufferings. And these emotions leading to happiness or sufferings are very ephemeral. So, if humans cultivate the physical body well, it may become pure and good, and humans are gradually less attached to secular desire and emotion, and they may find unity with the Supreme Being.
What would be the real relationship between Cao Dai and other religions?
It's a very good relationship. Cao Dai is sending the message that all religions are really all one, having the same origin in the same Supreme Being, and having the same principle, the same ethics based on love and justice, and a just manifestation of the same truth. And thus, there should be no discrimination between religions, no more fighting between people because of the name of God. We are all brothers and sisters, and are all children from the same God. Cao Dai's goal is to unite all of humanity through a common vision of the Supreme Being, whatever our minor differences, in order to promote peace and understanding throughout the world, a more tolerant world, where we can all see each other as sisters and brothers from a common divine source and reaching out to a common divine destiny. We are actually divine. Each of us can lead a life with an inner contentment through spiritual practice. This inner contentment would lead to outer harmony and the ultimate realization of oneself and world peace.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bui, for your presentation, and we look forward to further discussion with you on the Cao Dai's way of life.
Thank you. And thank you for listening.